In this video, I will show you an efficient way of working with Widget Blueprint, what different widget elements do and how you can use them for your benefit, what is anchoring and padding, and finally, how to make your widget properly scale on all screen resolutions. So let's dive in. Let's first create blueprint. So user interface, widget blueprint. User widget, it works with a hot message device and it's not supporting buttons. Model dialog variant, it supports buttons, so it depends what you want. And this one, second one, it works with pop-up dialog device. I will use this one so we can add some buttons just for this tutorial. Let's name it widget blueprint and like anchoring. So we can start with panels. Like here we have different elements which can help us organizing our stuff inside of our UI. So first one, we need canvas panel. So this is the main one. This is whole stuff, then it's connected to that. If we select canvas panel, we can see size of the screen. And we have these arrows, right? This is where you can preview on different resolutions. So if you grab and drag, see it even says resolutions. This is super useful when we will preview how our elements, widget elements, will behave on different resolutions. So you don't need to like test on different monitors, you don't need to even run your game. You can just like drag this arrow and you will have everything visible right away. I will keep it on maybe a full HD 1080 for now, it's fine. So this is canvas. There is not much to do. You're just adding it and you have it, right? And then everything else will be added to the canvas. For example, if I will add now image, let's scale it a little bit so we can see it better. Okay. So this flower represents where our image is connected to. So in this case, it's a left top corner of the canvas. Only elements of our UI, like let's say our widget, is connected to the canvas will have this flower and anchoring. Everything what's connected inside of these elements, yeah, like so for example, later we will add overlay and then we'll use it as a folder. We will add some other elements to that overlay. So what's inside overlay won't have this flower. So it's only what's connected directly to the canvas and not children of this. Okay. So with this anchoring, if you will see here on the right side, you can see it says like anchors, right? If you will click it, you will see all these sides, corners, where you can actually connect now this image. Again, it could be like not image, it could be text, it could be like this again, overlay on something else. Everything was connected to the canvas panel. If you want, for example, it would be like on a full screen and always stretch with a screen. So let's say now we're doing on a full HD, but later someone will play with, let's say like ultra wide screen, yeah, so then it will stretch to that screen. So maybe it's not ideal, but sometimes it's fine. Maybe it's not image, maybe it's just like for example this white, right? If it will stretch, you won't even notice that it's stretched, yeah, because it's just color. Sometimes you want that. Another thing, if you want, let's say like stay always in the middle, yeah, like in the center. So for example, we'll click that, right? And as you can see, our flower now strictly in the center of our canvas, but our image not moved. This is because it's anchoring is changed, but image always stays like, again, not just on the image, whatever will be there, but numbers, you see, they changed. Position of X and Y. right? So X, it's a horizontal, and Y, it's a vertical. So if we will put now to 0 and 0, you see, image now goes back to anchoring. And in case of the corner, that was kind of cool that image was connecting like corner to corner, yeah? Corner, top corner of the image was connecting to the top corner of the canvas. But in this case, if we want strictly in the center, we probably would want like center of the image would be in the center, right? This is where our alignment helps. So how it works, it's basically it's as well X and Y, right? So 0 and 0, it means it's this corner. So 0.5, it will be horizontal, this middle point, and vertical middle point. 1 and 1, it would be bottom right corner, right? So for example, if I will set this to 0.5, you see, now my image is horizontally in the center. If I want vertically in the center, so I'm changing this one as well to 0.5. Now I have my image perfectly in the center. And now look, if I will grab this arrow and change my screen resolution, maybe for example like this is like this ultra wide, yeah? See, my image always stays in the center, in the perfect center. What if, for example, I want it be anchored to the center but a little bit off, right? You can play with this alignment, but I would suggest like keep it between 0 and 1. But what you can do is position X and Y. So again, vertical, it's Y. So maybe I can do all that, or I can go in the minus as well. Don't be scared. So if I will keep it that way, right? See, now it works as well with this offsetting, right? So you can call it like position or just offset. If maybe you want it always be strictly on top, right? Maybe it's like panel for your team where we have like 2 teams competing and it has points. So as well, you can go on the top. See now flower on the top. You see now, because I set image to 0.5 alignment, it now goes off the screen, which is not ideal, right? And it's again, because it's vertically, not horizontally. Horizontally, we won't keep it in the center, but this is our vertically. You see, like I'm putting to 0, and now it's perfectly touching edge of the screen. Now I can do offset in a Y, so again, vertically. Maybe some like 100 pixels. This is basically anchoring and offsetting. Okay, so now what we can do, we can add overlay. Imagine like you have background image, you have buttons and text for main menu, and you don't want to like control them separately. It would be nice to have something when on and off or move all together, and everything is anchoring all together. So this is where overlay comes. It's basically just a folder. By default, overlay will control size what's inside. So say if I will put now this image, say image string, and the size of the image, see, has no effect on this. This is because overlay now controls that. Look, if I will change, this is how it works. And green now, it represents size of the overlay, and then white is now our image size. But it's basically cropped if we're going over that. Maybe sometimes you want that, maybe sometimes you don't. If you don't want overlay to control that, most of the case you don't, you can just set it to content. So when you will click that, now it has no effect on the elements what's inside of this overlay. So you will use it only for anchoring, right? And now what's inside, will control it. So you see, like now when I am increasing size of the image, it increases overlay this green border as well. When you have something like one image, of course it's useless, but this is for more when you will start adding more elements. In a second we will start. And this alignment, similar to anchoring, you can align to the left side, center, or right side, or fill the whole thing. So that would be, it mean like fill the whole overlay. Then we have aligned to the top, center again, and bottom. So in combination, right? So it means like left and up. It means it would be like left corner, top corner. Let's say left and bottom, it would be left bottom corner, center, and let's say up, it would be center, but this top. Let's have image a little bit darker and more transparent. Yeah, so this is like a background of the, as I said, maybe menu, you have buttons and text. Maybe if you want some round corners, you don't even need image for that, right? You can do this directly in the widget. So instead of image, choose rounded box. What you need to do here, a rounding type, go to fixed radius. Now you have this corner radius. Yeah. So let's say like maybe you will put like now 220, maybe a little bit more so it's visible. Okay, 50, good. Whoops. 50. Now you see like when we have nice round box. So is that we can add outline. So outline with maybe put let's say 3, whatever. And it's not visible yet because alpha, so its opacity is on 0. So let's increase that, maybe for now, whatever. Any color will do. You can increase even more this outline. You see, you basically can build your UI elements inside of the widget and without using textures. It's cool stuff with this as well, because it's not image, it's actually scalable. You see, like if I will increase size, it's kind of like not stretching elements, so these corners they stay intact. Doesn't matter like ratio, for example, like this, right? A little too small, like that. And now we want text. So again, we have alignment, let's say center, right? And some padding, yeah, like that. Okay. In a text, it's the same thing. You can make it more transparent, less transparent. Text. You can even add your own material. Maybe I will cover in future videos that, but it's pretty simple to do. Like that. Okay. Then size, it's fine. Okay, outline size. Yeah, like that maybe. Again, outline color we can control here. And then intensity as well. Yeah. If it's maybe too much. You may see that because of now outline, the overlapping. So you can increase letter spacing in between. Maybe something like that. Another thing, we can add some shadows, so they're creating kind of like a depth effect. So here's apply outline to drop shadow, and again we can control this intensity. You can, I think, try it to do without outline as well. Yeah, there is something, but with outline this shadow is better. And here it's offset, so it's like how much it goes off. Maybe this color is not so perfect. And outline definitely too thick. Yeah, here we go. Now it's much better. Because our text is slightly transparent, you see some of this shadow, or let's say outline, visible through. We don't want that. Increase opacity. Okay, or like maybe make it fully opaque. Yeah, that maybe looks better. And shadow color. So you see, like, this is dark, then outline here is bright. It's kind of like looks not great. Maybe making it more of the color, same color as outline, so we can take, let's pick up the pick color, click on that. Now we have same color. Okay, so we have text. Now we can add buttons. In my previous video about UI, I showed how to use stack box. It's kind of cool. Instead of like adding one by one element and then trying to control that, we can add just stack, and this stack will do everything for us. Let's add stack box, and we have this loud button, fine, like that. Now you can see that this button is really large, right? Of course I could come here in the button and do scale down, but I actually don't like to do it, because this widget element, they kind of like ignore this scale. They will still see this button as a big, like basically scale 1, so it's not ideal. What I like to do is size box. So size box helps with everything. It can scale your text, it can scale your image, it can scale your buttons, anything. So I can put into this stack box size, and now I can drag my button into the size. Now in the size box, you see we have parameters for the size. So now I can control much easier my button. So maybe something like 180 and maybe 50, yeah, maybe something like that. Okay. And alignment. So alignments, like, we don't need to do any alignment in a size box, but more in a stack box, right? Because this one, it's connected to overlay, same as image and text. So in stack box, now we can say, like, if we will do this, right, it's like fill whole thing, you see, like, it basically goes on the full size of the overlay, which is not ideal, but we want anchor it, like, aligned with overlay somewhere. But we need to think, like, where these buttons will be. So probably they will be somewhere in the center. So it makes sense to do this, right? And now this button is aligned in the center, and I can offset it with, again, this bottom or top padding. So maybe like from the bottom 100, too much, maybe like that, something like this. Okay, and pretty much done. Yep. And size, it's actually now it's filling the whole thing of the stack box. And in the stack box, final thing, it's orientation. It's basically when you will start duplicating elements, in what direction they all will go. So horizontally, it means, let's preview it, look, Control D, Control D, Control D. If I will change it to vertical, now it's perfect. What we care is, again, this padding, because you see, like, between buttons we don't have kind of like enough space. We can do bottom. So if I will set it to, let's say, 20, maybe 30, yeah, 30, like not bad. If I will keep it in the center horizontally, but then let's say align it to the bottom, as you can see, like it's properly aligned. Now, because everything is in this overlay, if I hide it, everything hides, right? And same time, let's say I want this overlay be on the left side. Yep. So I can go anchor, left side, set it to 0, because it anchors to my left top corner. I can use this alignment again. So it's again this one, it's horizontal, this one vertical. So if I will set it to 0.5, now look, it's anchored to the left side, but sometime in the middle, right, of this overlay folder. Now if I want some offsetting, so I can add, this is vertical, this is horizontal, maybe like this, okay. Okay, so now all this thing will stay. And now look, if I will change resolution, even like this, it stays there. Like that, ultra wide, right? And everything in this overlay is not affected as well, because everything inside overlay is aligned towards the overlay, and then overlay is aligned to the canvas. So it's basically a hierarchical thing. So it's cool, and because it's everything organized like this, let's say like I want to duplicate this, right? And now I can take second overlay and anchor it to the right side, set it to 0, and now of course, because our alignment or horizontal is 0, so it goes to the left side, and 1 it's the right side. So if I set to 1, see, now we're aligning by the right side, and we can add again some offset. And simple as that, now you duplicated the whole thing. So now imagine you would do this per button and text and image, right? But it was like a few second thing, right? And look, they properly work with whole screen. Now let me show some other elements. So we have grid panel, and we have uniform grid panel. Let's add overlay. Okay, let's anchor it to the top. Size to content, later we'll add some stuff, and maybe 50 offset. Okay, so now we can add a grid panel inside. Okay, inside grid panel I can duplicate one of these buttons, size box. Okay, let's make it square button. So in this grid panel itself, not much to do. It's same thing as we already done. We have like padding, offset, right? Everything same. In the size box, actually, now we have this row span, column span, and these arrows. You can offset your element of the grid panel. If I will duplicate now, if I will select like that, you see, it's going to the side. And now the third one, it's again going like this. If I could select second one, look, and put row 2, it goes row 2, right? And 3 of course won't work because it's not making space in between. You need to have something. So if I would now select this one and I will duplicate it and put row 3, now you see this is now it's worked. You can imagine like you can create like this kind of like a weird menus of buttons, and you don't need eyeball distance between them because it's basically perfectly aligned. And beauty of that is, look, if now again if I'm trying to scale on different resolutions, it's always perfectly scaled because scale between buttons stays same, And then alignment to the canvas itself, it's controlled by overlay. We don't have on the sides offset. So now I would do like same on the side. See, now it's perfect. And let's say like select this one. We can duplicate to the side and then duplicate to the side, right? And we have this kind of like a button, maybe like inventory. Okay, now let's add another overlay. And I will anchor it now to the bottom, on opposite side, 0, 0, okay, size to contents enabled. Now we'll add uniform grid panel. And in here, I will put again buttons. Make this button again, maybe like square, so it's easy to see. And now again, our overlay is aligned by the corner, top corner, 0.5, I want strictly in the center, and then I need bottom, so it's 1 in here, in alignment. And maybe put some offset. Okay. Let's do some duplicates here right away. In grid panel, I had to select each of the size box and add padding, right? To the right and to the bottom. And actually, if I'm going to uniform grid panel, I see this padding is here. And that's why it's called uniform. Because in this one, between some of the buttons, let's say this 2, I want bigger padding, right? So if I will go to the padding on the right side, maybe put 60, or to make it visible, 100, right? So you see I have like 4 buttons on the left and 2 buttons on the right. But with uniform, it applies for everything perfectly. So for example, I have all these boxes inside, and I can here choose row and column, right? I can click on these arrows, or I can choose, so row 0 and 0 and column. Now for example here maybe I want row 1, okay, or maybe go to side, maybe this one, like this. And now in uniform grid panel, I can go here and adjust alignment. So for example, maybe right side again, some 30, top 30. If you will choose bottom, so it basically in between these buttons, it will add, because one button will have a bottom offset 30, another button will have top offset 30. It will add into 60. So that's why you need or one or another, right? Because they're now going up, I can just like keep it like this. I would create more duplicates like that. Size always stays same. And again, it will work now on any screen. I hope this video is helpful to you. Please press that like button and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications about future videos. See you soon!